This is the Keewitt S9 Pro, and I find this speaker interesting. Something you don't often see in Bluetooth speakers are understated minimalist designs. Another thing you don't often see in Bluetooth speakers are clearly labeled buttons. And check out this aspirational motto, nothing but amazing bass. There's some truth to that. This speaker has dual 20-watt mid and low frequency drivers and dual 10-watt tweeters for a total of 60 watts. I know from looking at the product diagram that all the drivers are located in front, but it sure sounds like there are some bass drivers in the back. I think it must just be an open design. If you read the manual, you'll find out that a short press on the power button switches the speaker mode. There are 3 modes: vocal mode, bass boost, and surround mode. In every instance, I think surround mode sounds best. I so rarely have 2 identical speakers to test, but if you do get 2, you can use these in TWS mode. That's true wireless stereo. You can wirelessly pair 2 of these speakers together for a stereo experience at double the power. The S9 is made with a premium aluminum alloy. They say that it is rugged, but I don't want to test that theory. It's just too pretty. Keewitt says the S9 Pro is IPX6 waterproof. I think that's a misnomer because IPX6 is more along the lines of water resistant. You can get the speaker wet, but it should not be submerged. If you read the product description, it says this speaker has a 6800 milliamp hour battery. However, if you look at the bottom of the speaker, it says 5200 milliamp hour, a pretty big difference. If you listen to the speaker at 60% volume, you should expect about 22 hours of playback on a 3 to 4 hour charge. I just think 60% is the sweet spot for this speaker. If you go above that, you might notice some distortion on ultra low bass. At 60% volume, you will hear some tremendous depth to this speaker. It is well balanced between mids, highs, and lows. I have often noticed that speaker placement makes a tremendous amount of difference in how the speaker sounds. But this speaker was designed to be used on the surface of a table. And that's the only way. There's no magnetic mount, there's no threaded mount, there's no lanyard. Tabletop only, that's it. And that is also the worst place to listen to this speaker. When I first heard this speaker, I thought, oh, this does not sound good at all. But then I picked the speaker up and held it in front of my face, and that changed everything. I found that the best way to enjoy this speaker is if you place it on the very edge of a table, just to give the drivers some room to breathe. Alternately, if you have a speaker stand, that might work, or shelf brackets, that would work too. But you cannot put this speaker far back on a surface or it just won't sound good. It might have something to do with these tiny feet. They barely raise the speaker up off the surface at all. I almost forgot to mention the connectivity options. Behind this rubber plug, you will see the charging port, a TF card slot, and a 3.5mm auxiliary input slot. Whatever engine they have indexing the TF card is super fast. It started playing the card almost immediately when I inserted it into the S9 Pro. The 3.5mm auxiliary input also sounds really good. And another thing I like is when you remove the 3.5mm cable or pop the TF card out, it resumes playback on the Bluetooth source immediately, if the source is still available. The Keewitt S9 Pro has a lot to love. The aluminum alloy minimalist design, the clearly labeled buttons, the connectivity options of TF card and 3.5mm auxiliary input. This speaker sounds really good if positioned properly, but I have to give it 4 out of 5 stars simply because I think the case design is not appropriate for the drivers within the speaker. 4 out of 5 is not bad. I'm not going to try to talk you out of this speaker, but you will have to work with it in order to place it properly. Thanks for stopping by.